Hello. How's everyone doing today? Taking a quick look at some cryptocurrencies. See right here, we do have some charts trading below that 200 moving average on the daily chart for Bitcoin, as well as the hourly. We are still putting a series of higher lows. See how that continues to form, or we're going to get more lower lows continue to the downside. But taking a quick look, if you're looking at the 𝗫𝗍𝗃 support, clicking from that pivot high to pivot low, this pullback is still very similar to this pullback. It has not broken through. I'm not saying that this is going to continue to hold. Let's take a quick look on the hourly chart. Hourly chart, it has now recovered against that 200 moving average on the hourly, and we're still printing some series of lower highs and lower lows. So when we get that further push to the downside, really correcting below 34,000, 33,000, or even below 32,000, which is very possible. Still don't know what's going to happen. You gotta just take it one step at a time. Taking a quick look at Ethereum. Ethereum on the daily chart, still struggling, cannot get up above that 200 moving average. And we did map out some symmetry supports along the way. Got up above that 200 temporarily. So if you took this move to the upside, congratulations. But right now you can see that this particular support is no longer holding. Price is trading below that 200 moving average on the hourly chart, breaking below support. And we can continue to see that downside correction. Backing out on the daily chart. Let's measure some moves over here as well. I'm going to clear this chart. I'm going to measure this pullback comparing to this pullback over here. Okay, so these two are very similar as well. Just like Bitcoin, that pivot high to pivot low. If I were to put in a trend line, pivot high to pivot low, it's very similar to this one over here. That's what was called a 𝗫𝗍𝗃 support, because I'm duplicating one of these trend lines that we're seeing over here. We're reprojecting to this new recent high, and that's why we have that landing around the same area, because how we have these settings set up is simply if I'm looking at the 100% of the move, okay? So trend-based fib extension, if you're looking at these extensions, I'm only using one here, which is 100% of the move. I'm not doing any of these other retracement levels when it comes to simply doing a trend-based fib extension 100%. Okay, so Luna, this is the one that is finding strength, okay? But even now, if we're looking at the hourly chart, it's trading below that 200 moving average. So I was taking this one to the long side. I've already closed out this position. I like to see more further strength in Luna, but it has to get up above that 200 moving average. Same thing with Harmony, right? I like to trade these type of setups once it gets up above that 200 moving average, take a small clip, but once it starts to fall below this 200 moving average on the hourly chart, we may see more downside correction. Just got to be careful. So over here on the daily chart, you know that when it's trading below that 200 moving average on the daily chart, on your way back up, you're going to be met with resistance to the upside. On your way back up, it may be met with a lot of resistance all the way up. You have to deal with symmetry resistance in addition to 200 moving averages on different time frames. So right here we have the hourly chart. If I jump onto the 2-hour chart, right, over here I have another one. On the 3-hour chart, I have another one over here, all the way back up. So right now, cryptos, I just don't find a great opportunity to go long. Just want to be patient and not do too many things at the same time. Now, if you look at my videos, I've been talking about energy for quite some couple of days, especially since last week. We're seeing a tremendous move to the upside. So let's see if we got some laggards along the way. What I mean by that is there are certain stocks that have already taken off to the upside. for example, 𝗀𝗚𝗏. Okay, so these are ones I've already taken profits off the table already. We got CLR. I've also taken profits off of this one as well. Let's see what else I talk about. So going back to my, kind of just go through what I've got going on here. Last couple of the trade recommendations that I discussed that are energy related. So over here, come to my contents area. So we have, this is where I talked about energy, okay? Minerals, Exxon. Let's go to Exxon real quick. Over here, also got a nice move to the upside. Your close extensions. So over here, you're mapping out. So that 113.1272, these are the areas you got to be taking your profits off if you've been going long with Exxon. Over here, we also took profits off of ConocoPhillips. Now it's trading at 100. Right now, I see that it's probably going to pop again tonight because we got a huge move. So if you're looking at Yahoo Finance, looking at some after hours data. So this one we're looking at COP. Okay. Up another 23 cents. All right. So I'm looking for some laggers. Okay. I'm going to check GRT. Okay, we'll definitely talk about GRT momentarily. Okay, so over here I want to go over PAA. This is the one that stood out for me today. I made a video with this already. But if you're looking at this chart, okay, this is a great chart if you're just going long. It hasn't taken off to the upside like tremendously. It is trading above that 200 moving average on the daily and hourly chart. Kind of just taking it one step at a time. So over here, you also got some options, right? Now, these options are not super expensive if you're going long, if you're just buying a call. If you don't want to do that, you can also sell some put credit spreads. This is where I do most of my business. Okay, if I'm going long with something, I'm not buying over here, guys. I'm selling something over here. Okay, and it's very different for what other people do, but you guys got to just pick your spots. I'm more of just taking in a credit and just watch, you know, some premiums bleeding to my account over the time, over than just buying over here. If you're buying over here, time is against you, right? So whatever you're buying, if you're buying a call, you're going long, this guy's got to move. If it doesn't move, then premium's bleeding out of your account, right? That's how it works in the options world. So I think I had another recommendation in energy. Let's just go through this real quick. Let's talk about Valero. I used to deal with this chart a long time ago. Now it's back on the radar. So taking a quick look at this guy, it hasn't taken off to the races just yet, right? And if you're looking at implied volatility, it's pretty high. So over here, I am not buying these calls. If I'm going long tonight on this, going long, I'm going to be selling some puts, some put credit spreads. So taking a quick look on the hourly chart, right now it's also getting up above that 200 moving average. And these are the spots I like to pick. Now we had CLR, we're talking about CLR, also 𝗀𝗚𝗏. Now we're on the hourly chart, or 65-minute chart. Very close CLR. How does it look on the 65-minute? So if I look over here, it's performing very similar. Over here, it was trading below that 200 moving average, but it was able to get up above over here and run to the upside. And these are the type of charts that I like. Now the better chart was actually 𝗀𝗚𝗏. If you take a quick look over here, that 200 moving average supported price all the way through. So you had a pocket of potential support over here. Price pulled back into your three-price relationship. But that whole time, price never broke below that 200 moving average on the hourly chart. So that would have been a stronger long setup for me. You know, that's why I preferred going 𝗀𝗏 over another chart. So now we had a GRT. Let's take a quick look. I haven't taken a look on that chart. So let's take a quick look. So let's just pull it in. I know I have it somewhere here on my left side of the menu, but I don't want to find it. So I'm just going to pull a new set of data. Hopefully this data is good. Pulling it, and then I'll just drop it over here for now. All right, taking a quick look at GRT. If we got to be honest with ourselves, over here we have a series of lower highs and lower lows. Okay, it is printing below that 200 moving average on the daily chart. Now, are you going long with this chart or are you shorting it? What have you been doing? What's going on? The hourly chart over here is also trading below that 200 moving average on the hourly chart. So right now, for me, there's nothing for me to do on this chart personally until I find some strength to the upside. So right now, as it's print to the downside, you can see this down channel. There's just no long setup for me. On the hourly chart, this is what I like to see. Okay, it must start exhibiting some strength, kind of like over here, where it did over here. You got up above that 200 moving average on the hourly chart, pulling back. Okay, and this could have been a trigger for me to go long, but right now I would have taken my small loss, right? And I'm on to the next chart, and that's how it works. If I'm going along with this chart, again, I like to see some higher lows. I don't want to see another lower low. I need GRT to really get up above, okay? That 200 moving average on the hourly chart, pulling back. From here, does not break below that 200 moving average on the hourly chart, exhibiting strength, and gives me a trigger to go long on the 15-minute time frame. And these are the type of patterns that I look for day in and day out. I don't deviate from this. If we're trading directionally, we're just speculating. If we're going long with something, we have to follow through on the trading plan day in and day out. And this is what I have for GRT. You have anything else you want to look at? So this one played out nicely, right? So ratchet up your stops. You use that 15 moving average on the daily chart, on the hourly chart, or something to. And that was another recommendation that I had. So over here, right, anchor. Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know how the crypto world's going to react, but that's another thing. I don't really care because I'm in and out of these things, right? So as long as it's not exhibiting what I want to see, I'm already out. I'm in cash until it starts to behave the way that I want it to, which is establishing a series of higher highs and higher lows. And if I can't find a strong chart, maybe in one of these bigger coins, I'm looking to see if I can find strength in a smaller coin, and that's why I looked at a couple of days ago with this anchor protocol, because it was showing strength. It was showing strength on the hourly chart, and it was getting up above that 200 on both the daily and hourly chart. I had a 3-price relationship here. Now, when I entered, it wasn't the best entry, but it's still continuing to flow to the upside. And along the way, you're just ratcheting up your stops. Just take clips out of these charts again and again. But once it starts to fall, right now you don't have any setup below that 200 moving average on the hourly chart. You got that 15 moving average coming down as well. This is actually the 34. Right? So you may have more downside correction to be had with all these charts. Solana, it was also performing strong. But if we're looking on the hourly chart on this one as well, this guy got a 200 moving average way up around 155, right? So on your way back up, you're going to be dealing with that 200 first on the hourly chart over here. There's just no strength right now in the crypto space. But there is strength in the energy sector, and that's why we go and float between sectors. Right? We're not stuck to any idea. We're looking at these charts. We're looking at, all right, if I don't have strength in the crypto space, strength, money, energy is flowing into another sector. Right? Energy cannot be destroyed, but it can transform from one form to another. And right now energy is flowing into the energy sector, and that's what I'm focusing on. If you're not focusing on the energy sector, maybe you're focusing on metals. If you're in 𝗏𝗏 is performing wonderfully, and this is something you might want to look at. But right now 𝗏𝗏 has taken off so much, I'm not chasing this. I gotta wait for the next pullback, right? Look what I do. I activate my astronomy drawings, gonna reproject to this new recent high. I was anticipating a pullback right around 66. I did not get it. I'm looking at repeatable patterns that may potentially repeat themselves over and over on the chart. If I'm not getting these pullbacks, then there's something for me to do. For example, this pullback right here, $14.31. This pullback right here, $13.42. So I'm looking for pullbacks that are similar in dollar amount, okay? Pivot high, pivot low, pivot high. Over here, so I have two price relationships. Over here, I can do another pull, fib retracements, and bam, I have a 618 that overlaps. That potential area support ran around 77.91 cents. Going to retract my alert, right? So that's what I do on a day in and day out. Now, this may not play out, right? Because right now we're finding so much energy flowing into the energy sector, also precious metals. If I were to go back to Yahoo Finance, we might have another leg up in Alcoa already to the upside. See, we're up another 24 cents. Right now, I just have to monitor this and wait for the next set of pullbacks, because this pops up another 24 cents. I got to recalculate, right? Let's talk about gold. Wow, the gold is over $2,000 an ounce, okay? And last time we had a peak over here, 2,089. These are some wild times we're living in. Silver above 26. Let's take a quick look. So precious metals, right? And that's going to have more energy flowing into, other metals such as aluminum, copper. Man, it's crazy. Let's take a quick look at these futures, because I haven't seen huge moves like this. If you're looking at futures, okay, taking a quick look at wheat. Have you seen moves like this? So these food prices are definitely going to go up, guys. Whatever we're buying, all these consumer staples are dealing with, your cereals, whatever. I mean, these are going to get passed on along to the regular consumer. Over here, I mean, these are, I don't remember the time where wheat has done a number like this. I just haven't. Let's take a quick look. If we were to go max on a monthly, right? Okay. So back in 05, 06, 07, 07, we had a huge move to the upside. And we're approaching that. So over here, it may reach this top. I don't know. This is on a monthly chart for wheat, right? Hopefully, things in the news aside and prices for wheat will come back down. So people can buy them again. They don't have to struggle going to the groceries. But damn, guys, things are pretty crazy right now. Soybean futures, same thing over here, approaching all-time highs. Clearly, we may pop above this area as well. Okay, these are treasury notes. Okay, soybean meal over here, also approaching an all-time high, possibly, if you get a pop to this. What else do we have here? Okay, now corn. Let's take a quick look at corn. Wow, see, the last couple of months just popping up to the upside. I know, it looks like a meme token, right? But these are products that really affect our daily lives, especially your grocery shopping, right? So okay, what else do we have? Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at some opportunities that we may have coming up. We may have another leg to the upside with oil. So let's take a quick look at crude. I know crude was much higher before, 147. This is back in 2008. So we had a huge pop to the upside. Okay. And I don't know when this is going to subside. See, we had same thing with silver. Silver also had a pop to the upside back then as well. You can see right around that. Over here, when was this? 2011. It was up around 50. Okay, go back to crude. This is 2008. So crude oil had a pop, all-time high. Well, not all. 2008. Okay. And silver, that peak was right around 2011. We may see that again. In gold, had a nice big pop to the upside. This is back in 2011 as well. We've already exceeded it. So, man, I don't know where these things are going. But taking a quick look, as you guys know, I use fib extensions. So over here, it got up above that 113 and it pulled back slightly. This is a very small pullback. Went to a triangle, and right now we're popping out of that triangle. And we may continue to see even higher. We may see further extensions to the upside. That 1272, that 1618, or even 2618. So if I were to edit these properties, who knows? You don't know. So if we go 2618 over 3000, 3618 over 4000, it is getting up above that 2000. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts on gold and silver and all this stuff. Where do you guys think this is going? Let's see, what else do we have? Let's go through some of these live cattle. So live cattle, we had a huge move to the upside back in 2014. And we may get there. All these products. See copper futures. Bam! This may be an all-time high. Copper prices, man. So if you're going to Home Depot, you're doing your home remodeling. So prices for any materials for building, they're all going to go up. And that's the thing, you know, when oil dropped tremendously back in 2020, I'm talking about over here, right? We're looking at these extremes today. Back in 2020, when you went to the pumps, tell me, how much were you guys paying? I'm sure it wasn't reflective of where oil was trading at. I'm sure it was expensive as hell, probably still close to $3 a gallon for your high octane. But over here, I was thinking about this. I don't want to be missing opportunities like this anymore, okay? So there's opportunities at these extremes. I'm not saying it's always going to happen. This could be a nice shorting opportunity when it gets up to 147, you know, maybe 150. Just like, I'm looking at RSX. I don't know what you guys are doing, but Russia is getting crushed over there, okay? And eventually, I don't know when, there may be a nice buying opportunity for Russia. What do you guys think? Would you guys buy into Russia right now, as it is? But that's what I'm talking about. If you're going long, right, you want to buy low and sell high. You want to buying stuff when everyone is freaking out. Nobody was buying oil I'm sure the smart people were. I wasn't smart. But I gotta be smart. I gotta be smart. I don't want to be repeating the same mistakes. So when everybody is freaking out, you want to be greedy. You want to be greedy right around this bar, okay? Just like everyone is very bearish on Russia, a lot of businesses are pulling out. Right? If you're going into CoinDesk, look at the amount of just headlines. Yeah, Russia over here. Visa, MasterCard joined PayPal in suspending Russian operations. That's just crazy. Think about a whole country. If you can't use these, if you can't, right now, if you cannot use Visa, Master, and PayPal, how would your life be like? Would it be very smooth? I've been trying to get in contact with my friend in Russia. I've just been wanting to get his take. I have not been able to speak with him, but I definitely would love to just get him on the call and really ask him. And he is somebody that I'm very close with. For years, since 2020, I've told him to buy gold and silver. Okay, so I've been that responsible guy. I've been telling him, you just don't know what's going to happen in the markets. And when things start to freak out, people are going to find real value in real tangible assets, which is gold and silver. And it's starting to demonstrate that once more, right? And right now, the Russian ruble, it has been losing its value. So let's talk a little bit about macro. So if I were to go take a quick look at that chart. So we actually want this flipped. Okay. Damn. Look at that. So if your currency loses 30% within the year, okay, that's a lot of problems because your purchasing value is low. So that means all the grocery prices that you're buying doesn't buy anything. So within the last 5 years, it lost close to 50% of its purchasing value. Now you also got Visa and MasterCard that bouncing out of the country, right? So where are you going to buy and sell with? So people are likely turning into cryptocurrencies or finding value in real assets, gold and silver. Okay, I think this is how people are going to trade, unless they have something, jewelry, right, where they have gas on hand to use or have other means of exchange, right? I just don't know what's going to happen, guys. I mean, so be prepared. You want to have different asset classes on hand because I know a lot of people are chasing NFTs, but what if you're experiencing something like Russia right now, right? What if all these other platforms, what if OpenSea starts to join the conversation? They said, we're not going to do business with Russia. What's going to happen with your NFTs? Okay. And that's a real possibility. Anything is possible. Now, I'm doing stocks, options, things like that, but I'm also looking into precious metals, like physical ones, not the ETF, not just trading these futures. You want to have things on hand, just in case I can't log in tomorrow, okay? We got to be grateful each day because you don't know if the internet just decides to not work, right? So taking your profits out of the markets, putting them back into real physical assets is very important, okay? What else do you want me to look at? Any other charts? So this is kind of like my routine, guys. So every single day I go through hundreds of these charts, right? And I want them to see if I can match up with my trading methodology, which is technical analysis using the three-price relationship, Fibonacci retracements, symmetry supports, extensions, all that good stuff. So this is definitely another chart that I'm in, apartments. So right now I'm just trading, but I'm looking for value stocks. I want to be acquiring more stocks that print out these dividends, okay? So these are fundamentally strong companies, but also provide me with a dividend on a quarterly basis. And these are the things that I do day in and day out. So trading goes back into assets such as stocks, but also pulling cash out periodically, put it in real precious metals, okay? Put it into food, okay? Canned foods, because you just don't know. Learning about water filtration, which is important. Okay, all these different things. It's not just one thing. Because right now, a lot of people, they're stuck to looking at some numbers on a screen. But you got to be prepared all around. You got to be prepared all around. Trading is just one thing, okay? Pulling profits in and out of the markets day in and day out on a routinely basis, it's just a skill. But you got to round out the skills, okay? So I think going forward, people got to round out their survival skills, okay? And that's just as important as looking at the markets with discipline, impartiality, courage, and nurture. Now, there is a movie called The Kingdom of Heaven. I don't know if you guys seen that movie before. So there's a part where they're about to go to war, okay? But there was a guy. So if I can find that scene. This is a very powerful movie. I don't know if you guys seen this. So over here, they're about to go to war, and they did not. Long story short, they did not go to war because Saladin, he was very smart. He says, battles are determined by God, both by preparation, numbers, absence of disease, availability of water. One cannot maintain a siege with enemy behind, okay? We have to think about our life in the same way. Preparation, numbers, absence of disease, availability of water. One cannot maintain a siege with enemy behind. There is a video on my YouTube channel. A lot of people don't take good care of their health. They really don't, and they don't know how. So there is a video that has given me the greatest lift in my personal health. I highly recommend you guys to look at this video if you haven't already. I know I talk about trading and things like that, but without your health, none of this other stuff matters, guys. Without your health, all the money in the world, you're fucked, because you're going to be spending all your money on your medical bills, going to see the doctor, paying for pharmaceutical products, all that bullshit, until you really start to learn and understand how to clean up your own health, okay? Clean up your diet, stop eating your bullshit, okay? None of this other stuff matters. So your health is first and foremost importance, okay? And from there, you got to be stacking, bringing in that income, okay? Whether if you're selling products or if you are selling credit spreads, you're looking at theta positive, delta neutral positions, or if you're very, very good at just directional trading, however you do it, bring in that income. Because I see a lot of people, they're feeling right here. They don't know how their body works. Your body has cells. Cells is systems. I'm a systems guy. When I approach the markets, I approach it from a systems perspective. I look at like the markets in a way that, just like a chef, you know, he has a list of ingredients, like a franchise, right? He's not mixing things up. He's not taking things in and out of the ingredients. He has to be cooking that recipe day in and day out the same way. And it's very boring, right? He can't be creative. He can't be like, I bought this chain restaurant, now I'm gonna be creative, do my own thing, because people expect a certain taste. People expect a certain flavor, and that cannot change from chain to chain. Same thing you gotta do with your body, right? What is your routine for detoxification? What is your routine for health and maintenance? You know, for your nutrition, what does it look like? By me personally, I don't eat 3 meals a day, right? I don't know why people have to eat 3 meals a day. I don't eat 3 meals a day. I'm out there, I'm exercising almost on a daily basis, right? I know how to detox. I know how to clean out my small and large intestines. I know how to put the right fuel in my body so it thrives optimally, right? So I get the proper sleep. I know how to clean out my clean out intestines. Also, parasites. There are internal parasites, guys. Whether you believe them or not, they're out there. I recently made a video, but it's in Mandarin. But there are a lot of slides that you guys can look at where I talked about not just cleaning out the small and large intestines, but let's just go through some of these slides. Okay? People have to understand you're doing a lot of things wrong with your nutrition. Whenever you're eating sushi products, or if you eat hot pot, if you eat a lot of night markets, intestine products, they have a lot of parasites in them. People don't understand what parasites are. This is a picture of a tapeworm. Okay, you guys gotta look on YouTube. There are people extracting feet and feet of this stuff from their small and large intestines. They don't have to find a boyfriend or girlfriend. They're hermaphrodites, okay? They can reproduce perfectly by themselves. So if you have a tapeworm in you, it can lay thousands and thousands of eggs. And from thousands and thousands of eggs, it can reproduce again without ever having to meet another parasite, because they can reproduce by themselves, okay? And that is a picture of a tapeworm. They hook on to your small and large intestines. They have these mouths, and they feed on all your nutrition. A lot of times you think you're hungry, you are, because they're taking all your food. A lot of people don't believe it when I look into this. I'm telling them, you may have some of them right now. What else do we have? We have a lot of people, they have pets, right? So I want to go through this slide. Westerners, I don't know what you guys are doing. People are making out with their dogs and cats, their pets. Dogs, they're disgusting. I don't know, dogs are very stupid. I've seen dogs, they eat the dog shit of other dogs. That's what they do. And these cats, I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. So a lot of people, they have parasites in them, okay? And they're reproducing at a very, very rapid rate. So these are different products that you can take. You can look into Amazon for this product, Intestines Pro. This is more of an herbal blend. This is called 𝗵𝗫𝗫, 𝗵𝗫𝗫𝗫. This is fenbenzidole. This is for your dogs, okay? But you can actually take it for yourself. Actually, none of this is health advice. None of this is financial advice. Do whatever you want. Everything is your responsibility. I'm not at fault. Your health is your responsibility. Your trading account is your responsibility. Everything is your fault. Everything is my fault. If I fuck up my health, it's my fault. If I lose my keys, it's my fault. But I have to take responsibility in fixing it, okay? So these are different products that can remove your internal parasites. If I have some other slides regarding this. I don't know why it's not showing my other slides now. But this is what I want to talk about, because when you are dealing with health, first you got to urinate. Then you got to have bowel movements. You got to sweat. And you got to have less meals. Okay? I don't know why people argue with this. A lot of people, they're not urinating because they don't drink enough water. Next, they're going to have constipation. A lot of people have constipation problems. If you have constipation problems, this is the reason why you got to watch this video. If you don't watch this video and clean out your small and large intestines, none of this stuff matters. Then you got to sweat. Sweating is super important for your health. It's part of your lymphatic system, okay? This is the reason why I make it a point. I don't care if it's cold outside. I will go out for a run. Go out for a run, come back home. I put on a hoodie, I put on my sweats. I make sure I continue to sweat, okay? And do my weights. And it's a pain in the ass, I don't like to do it, but I always feel great afterwards because I sweat. And that's a big way, it's a process where you can get out a lot of your toxins out of the system. Then I don't eat 3 meals a day, right? So when I do eat, I eat healthy meals. Let's see if I can get some pictures coming up from my healthy meals, because all right, yeah, so tapeworms. So if you want to look on YouTube, just search these keywords. Tapeworm removal. Tapeworm removal 6 feet. They're so disgusting. I didn't want to show them in this presentation. Tapeworm removal in pets. So you know that your pets have them. Now these are some slides, some x-ray slides of people's brains, okay? Their parasite activity has gone through the roof. Their brains are full of small parasites. It's eating their fucking brains out. Okay, and this is in a first world country. People always think that, oh, this can't happen to me. I live over here, I live over there. No. I'm already telling you, if you have pets, okay, if you've been eating Japanese food, if you're eating any type of raw meats, okay, it's very likely you have parasites in your system. And a lot of people don't believe me, and they have a whole bunch of health problems. And you go to these doctors, they don't know shit, okay? And when you do one of these tests, you see a lot of false positives because this is a huge money generator in the medical industry. They don't want you to find the root cause of problems. The root cause of problems with your health is heavy metal toxicity or just toxins, parasites. You got to get rid of the toxins. Once you get the toxins out of your system, then you got to put the right nutrition back into your body. If you're on this call, can you put in a 1? Okay, I know we're talking about stocks and options a lot, but right now we're talking about health, which is super important, which I think is more important than just making money, because without your health, none of this other stuff matters. Okay, so you got to get the toxins out of your body. So watch this video. Self-flush, colon cleanse, of course, not health advice, not financial advice, but over here, proper health. You gotta have healthy relationships, man, okay? You gotta get some grounding in, touching nature, getting some sunlight on your skin, all right? I'm not talking about for hours at a time, 10 to 15 minutes, okay? Maybe you should start with 5 to 10 minutes, but you gotta have sunshine on your skin, all right? Over time, you can increase that amount, go out into nature, and when you're eating food, it has to be colorful. It has to be from nature, okay? It's got to be full of phytonutrients. Now, a lot of people, they talk about this, but they're not doing it. So that's why their health suffers. You know, they're still eating a bunch of instant noodles, eating a bunch of junk food, junk food all over the house. They're not getting out into the sunshine. Even older people, they're not stretching themselves out. They're immobile. They just stay at home. They don't do anything. And they just watch TV all day. And that's why they get sick. Their food doesn't look like this. It's not full of color. Okay? They're not drinking clean water. Guys, there's always another way you can get your water to the next level. Okay? Always learn a little bit more about water filtration. Learn how you can structure your water. Okay? There's so much content regarding that online. And over here, colors, right? find different vegetarian recipes or just recipes that you can cook at home, okay? And you can cook in great amounts, so you can eat them a couple of days at a time. But it's having that routine in, for your nutrition. With this in place, you'll have much more clarity in your thinking, right? This is all the other stuff that I do, right? Trading is just all this later stuff that I do. So before I turn on my computer, I'll have to say, this is more important, because if I don't have this in, right? If I don't spend time reading some positive affirmations, if I don't have a routine in, a system in place, cleaning out my small and large intestines, trading is going to be hard, right? Because my emotions are going to be all over the place when I look at these charts. I'm not sticking to my rules, right? I'm not going to be able to look at these charts accurately. Taking my losses when I need to, right? That's another thing, you guys. The more clarity that we have in our trading when it comes to following through on a trading plan, just saying, hey, if I need to take a loss, move on to the next chart. Because I know, a couple of days from now, I may have a great setup around the corner. But if I'm still holding on to a loser, right, that ties up my psychological capital, if that ties up psychological capital, I may not see a great opportunity that's coming on, like over here. So I think this could be an opportunity for this evening, when I look at the markets tonight. I live over in Asia. Where's everybody from? Type in the comments. Let me know where you guys are from. See, American Airlines, it was this nice shorting opportunity right here. I did not take it, but it was there. The reason I did not take it is because when I looked at it, it was still trading above that 200 moving average on the hourly chart. So I like to find charts where price is also trading below that 200 on the hourly. Just taking a quick look. So I have different lists. So right now I'm looking at some charts where these charts have very liquid options. AMC, so this was a favorite with the Wall Street bets crowd. Right now, don't get tied into what's happening over at Wall Street bets. You have to take a quick look at this chart and be like, well, right now, trading below that 200 moving average on the daily as well as the hourly, we are putting a series of higher lows. So if I want to take a stab at this to the long side, it must start to demonstrate strength with a series of higher highs and higher lows above that 200 moving average on the hourly chart. Pulls back, but as it pulls back, I do not want to break below that 200 moving average on the hourly. That gives me a three-price relationship. So I'm already thinking several steps ahead. I want to see how this could formulate down the road, right? It's a move to the upside, clearing this new recent high, pulling back 2 or 3 price relationships, and gives me a trigger. Without this in place, there's nothing for me to do with AMC. So disregard what everybody else is saying at Wall Street bets, right? I already have a system in place. And that's the importance, is how you can keep calm when you're looking at all these different headlines, right? Because we don't trade off the headlines, we trade off the chart. Taking a quick look at Ford. Ford is holding barely against that 200 moving average on the daily chart. On the hourly chart, it's already starting to exhibit weakness. So over here, not really looking at it. Carnival Corp, demonstrating weakness. NIO, super popular last year, right? But right now it's also showing weakness. DraftKings, same thing over here. All right, I think that will be taking a quick look. X Factor. This is important. So over here, this is sector by sector. If you ever buy my program, I discuss this in a lot more detail. So over here, XLF, we have trading below that 200 moving average. I've been finding some weakness in finances. I'm not sure if it's going to recover. Over here, what else do we have? Real estate, already demonstrating some weakness. Communications, it's already been showing weakness for quite some time. This is the Facebook. See, Facebook's been getting crushed. So over here, more downside correction. Home builders also trading below that 200 moving average. Utilities, bright spot over here. So staying up above that 200. Energy, this is the strong one, right? So we're flowing where energy is flowing, where the attention is going right now, which is in crude oil, right? Energy stocks. Retail, showing weakness below that 200. XLP, consumer staples. This is the one. So we talked about wheat earlier, we talked about corn, right? All these consumer staples, all these product cereals people are buying, as these basic materials are getting a strength to the upside, right? It's going to affect everyday products. So keep that in mind over here. Material select, trading below. Biotech, people are exiting biotech. Oil and gas, right? I think it's healthcare, XLV. Technology, see even over here, when technology starts to exhibit this downward channel, we have to be paying attention. We have to say, okay, we are trading below that 200 moving average on the daily chart, as well as the hourly chart. Now, if we get continued strength, a continued weakness, is there a trading opportunity to be had, right? So, is there a chart that is exhibiting this chart right here? And the first one that stood out for me is Microsoft. But Microsoft, the only thing I don't like about this is that it did get up above that 200 moving average on the daily chart right there. So right now, I want to see more downside correction. I like to see the next leg down from here, the next pullback. So this is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to remove these drawings real quick. On the hourly chart, see, I had some symmetry resistance right at this level, but it pierced up above. So I don't like that. What I like to see, more downside correction. Okay. From here, pulling back to a 3-price relationship. And from here, more downside correction. I'll show you a great example that I had a couple days ago. And that example was in Adobe. Bam. Did you guys watch that Adobe video? It was right here. So I called that, and I said, I think we got more downside correction to be had. On the hourly chart, it respected that 200 moving average. It never closed up above, and over here, traded nicely below. We had a 3-price relationship. And taking a quick look at Adobe on the after hour, if you're in this chart, see, right now, you're down another $9. So whatever you're doing here, maybe you did a call credit spread, you shorted it by buying a put, however you did it, right now you're more in the money. So respecting your trading plan, that's how important it is. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for sticking around. I know we talked more than just trading charts, but it's important kind of just share where I'm at, you know, where the state of the market is at. Nothing has changed the way how I approach the markets. I don't care about the headlines, but I do have to manage the chess pieces along the way. You have to look at the board. You have to see several steps ahead, okay? And the way that you do that, you have to do the best preparation for yourself. Taking good care of your health, taking good care of your mental health. Okay? All the money in the world, all that shit, guys. Without your health, without your mental health, it doesn't really matter, guys. So I love you guys. Stay safe. Be wise. Okay? Really make some good chess moves. God bless.